And here we are. Game 5 of the World Series starts in just a few minutes. Going to talk a little World Series. We got some controversy. A couple of idiots that think that they play for the Yankees. They couldn't play for the Staten Island Yankees. Idiots they are. Uh, Rough series so far for the Yanks. Down 3-1. They blew game 1. Lost game 2 and game 3. And they won game 4, which was chucked with controversy. Volpe's first home run. Let's bring on Denzel Snipes, our producer, is going to sit in with me tonight to talk about some of these topics. Let's get started.
Excellent. So, the Yankees are. So, just to keep in mind, everyone, that only 24 times in World Series history has a series jumped out to a 3-0 lead. 21 of them ended in a sweep. Uh, four of them had it go 5 games. The Yankees actually have the chance to do something no one's ever done tonight, and that is to be down 0-3 and force game 6. So we'll see what happens.
So, looking at it real quick, Denzel, game 1 they should have won, you know. So, in my mind, it's really 2-2, even though it doesn't show that way in the standings. And,
It should be 2-2.
we're looking at, so, if you're the Dodgers, you want to end this tonight and not have to deal with this anymore. If you're the Yankees, you have no pressure. Just play baseball, try and win, and if you win, you keep playing. So, I think right now the Yankees are actually in a good spot because no one expected them to do anything after being down 3-0. They forced a game 5, which normally happens, in a 7-game series when you're down. And they got their guy on the mound today with Cole. So, for getting to game 6 should be possible if he does his job. Just got to play loose. And if you get to game 6, the pressure starts to mount for LA because you don't want to play a game 7. Game 7, anything can happen for anybody.
If by some miraculous bolt of lightning, the Yankees, and I hate to, trigger you a little bit, but if they channeled that 0-4 Red Sox team and they force a game 7, my money is on the Yankees because they would have all the momentum.
Oh, without a doubt. Like I said, they should have won game 1. Stop pitching to Freddie Freeman. That's the first lesson. And I always compare to the '95 wild card. You hear me talk about that a lot. And I've from '95 to 2000, I went to every playoff game except for game 2 of the '96 World Series. I was at every other playoff game, World Series game through that whole span. But in '95 in the wild card, they got Ken Griffey Jr., who had a phenomenal series. 3-1 multiple times. They kept pitching to him, and he kept hitting home runs in game 1 and game 2. When that happens, stop pitching to a guy. And I get that the Dodger lineup is stacked. So is the Yankee lineup. So you can't sit here and say, "Ooh, they got all these great guys." The Yankees have the same thing.
Yeah.
They're two phenomenal teams. Right now, the Dodgers are playing better baseball. And they got a huge win in game 1, which was really important. The Yankees bats have been silent for the most part. Woke up a little bit last night, but now here we are in game 5. But if they win here, again, all that pressure's on LA. LA's got to close out the series. The Yankees on paper are done already. But now you have your ace pitch in game 5. You happen to win it, you take a flight out to LA. If you somehow can pull out a game 6, it's anybody's thing. There's no more pressure on this team.
And you know what? That's actually a pretty good way to slide into the first topic. Last night's game.
Let's talk about it. So the Yankees stay alive with 11-4 victory in game 4. Volpe hits his 3rd inning grand slam. Did the Yankees wake up or is it too late? As I alluded to in my opening, I said that it should be 2-2. It won't be because, the Dodgers pulled out the game. But when you look at it, if you're the Yankees, you're playing on par with these guys. So there's nothing to say you can't win a couple of games in a row.
That's true.
Both of these teams could win 4 games in a row in a blink of an eye. Will it happen? I doubt it. I doubt the Yankees are going to win the series. But, right now you play 1 game at a time. Win game 5, get alive to play Game 6, win Game 6, and you never know what could happen. What about you?
The good news about the Yankees is in any loss you've had, and you know what? This actually is painful to think about if you're a Yankees fan. You lost 3 games in the series, and all of them were close games. You lost game 1 on a miracle grand slam. Game 2, you lost 4-2. It was 4-1 entering the ninth, and then I think Stanton had a run, so comeback attempt fell short. Game 3, 4-2. It was 4-0 entering the ninth, and then the Yankees scored 2 runs, and then comeback attempt fell short. If you're the Yankees, you have yet to get run off the field. As a matter of fact, last night was the largest margin of victory. And let me tell you something. Let me ask you and everybody at home a question. If going into last night, someone told you a Yankees player was going to hit a grand slam to put the Yankees up for good, you probably would have said, oh, that's easy. Judge, Stanton, or Soto, right? Who had Anthony Volpe on their bingo card?
Nobody. And, I give him a lot of credit because somebody's got to step up. There's always somebody that has to be the guy. And you never know who it's going to be in life. And, it was a huge hit. Same thing with the Dodgers. I mean, looking at the series, did you think Freeman was going to be the man with, who they have?
I'm not surprised. I mean, and like I said, the Aaron Boone's mistake was not pitching to Freeman because going back to game 1, remember how even Freeman got started in the first place. They walked Mookie Betts, who's automatic himself. So what are you really going to do? Their first 3 are Ohtani, Freeman, and Betts. Because you said it. You want to heavy load the top to the middle of the roster. You want to heavy load it. That's exactly what they did. So what are you really going to do? No, his mistake was putting a guy on the mound who hadn't pitched in over a month when you got a 7-0 in the bullpen and someone else in the bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I didn't like the idea of walking Betts. I'm not a fan of giving extra base runners. The only guy besides Freeman right now in this series and Griffey in 95 that I ever thought should be an automatic walk was Barry Bonds. Besides to that, I'm pitching anybody. Baseball's a game where if you succeed 30% of the time, you are a phenom. Yeah. So I have 70% chances of getting you out. So I'm going all in on whoever's up. But, the Dodgers have played well. The Yankees, they've played okay. It's not as bad as it looks on paper. And, again, Cole's out there. This is why we paid him $40 million. Prove me wrong why I don't like you.
Yeah.
I said game 1, I thought he pitched well.
It is heartbreaking, though, because if the Yankees lose this series and the losing game is a close game, that actually reminds me of my 2005 Astros. We got swept by the White Sox, but every single game was a 1-run or 2-run game. It actually is the lowest run margin differential in World Series history. Like, we lost all close games. So if you're the Yankees, how do you feel about that? Because I could understand. And some people, you may have the same sentiment, right? That, look, I can take if you just run us off the field. You were just completely better than us that day. I can live with that, okay? There was just nothing that we could do to stop you. But to lose a close one and on mistakes, go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's why game 1 was so frustrating because their defense cost 2 runs.
Yeah. Yeah, they did, and it's self-inflicted wounds. I've always said that the biggest killer in baseball, and I know others may feel a bit different, I've always said that the biggest killer in baseball is runners left in scoring position.
Yes, and the best thing you could ever do in baseball, and this is why Chisholm was so big the other night, and you make guys play defense. You put pressure on a team. You run, you bunt, you do things that you make the defense make plays that are out of the ordinary, and it changes the game. Doesn't mean you do it all the time. Right. You're not going to let Aaron Judge bunt, but guys that aren't 50, 60 home run hitters, you got to move the ball, move the runners. You got to, it's about getting 1 and 2 runs, especially in a series this close.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? Speaking of Freddie Freeman himself, how about this topic right here?
Dude is phenomenal. I mean, he's homered in every game this series. 10 runs. Before last night, he was out RBIing or outscoring the Yankees.
Yes, he was.
the 6th straight World Series game with the home run going back to the 2021 World Series. The MVP is his to lose, without a doubt. Even if they do lose, there's a chance he can still be MVP in my mind. When you look, I mean, we obviously if they lose, we're gonna have to see 3 more games, so a lot can change. But he won game 1 personally. The next 2 games were close, and he had a homer in both of those games. It'd be hard to argue that there would have to be right now. Volpe would have to be the guy to step up to beat him, unless something crazy happens over the next 3 games, which I don't know what it could be.
Freddie Freeman could have gotten injured in the middle of last night and been out for tonight's game. And if the Dodgers won tonight, Freeman's still getting most valuable player.
Oh, yeah. Listen.
He's just done that much. Like, has there ever been a World Series most valuable player that did not play a game in the series? Like, that's pretty crazy. Yeah,
right.
It means you did that much damage. And here we go. Here comes Freeman up to the plate right now. Let's see what happens. And not to mention, this is going back to the Atlanta-Houston World Series. This is his 6th straight game with a home run.
Obviously, he's number 1 on that list now. He broke the record last night. It's insane. I would stop pitching to him. And like I said, there's very few people that I want to walk. I hate walking guys, but for him, put him on first. He's seeing the ball the best that can be. And in retrospect, on the opposite side, Judge, who I thought his first at-bat last night was really good, one of his best at-bats he had, and he still struck out. Yeah. But he showed that he was able to lay off some of the bad pitches. And then he struck out at a good pitch that he just missed. But he did better. Rizzo's another guy that's swinging at bad pitches. Yeah. Those two are killing the Yankees offense. You got to start getting the bat on the ball.
Yeah, you absolutely got to. Well, we're going to our last one because I got to.
We need to talk about this. And if you want to run that clip real quick.
Yes, absolutely.
And that foul ball, it's irrelevant. We lost. It doesn't matter.
How is that man feeling? Because it kind of looked like, from our perspective, that your wrist kind of went a little bit back.
No, I didn't even know he grabbed my hand, so no, it's perfectly fine.
Was that about as aggressive as you've seen fans in all your time in the game?
When it comes to the person in play, it doesn't matter. We lost. It's irrelevant. I'm fine. He's fine. Everything's cool. We lost the game, and that's what I'm kind of focused on. You got to turn the page and get ready for tomorrow.
Mookie just kind of seems like the type of dude where it's like, I'm not going to blast these guys or anything like that. He's not really a loud rah-rah dude or whatever. You know what I mean? Just, he always kind of struck me as mellow. But I know you feel, strongly about this. So let's hear your side.
Oh, first of all, Mookie Betts is nothing but class. The Dodger organization, nothing but class. The Yankee organization, and, on my Twitter or X today, I posted because some moron from ESPN, and I don't use words like that to talk about colleagues. Some moron from ESPN decided to celebrate these guys and write an article about them, about how they were defending the field and thinking they're part of the game. They're fans. Sit your butts down, watch the game. This isn't, somebody compared it to Jeffrey Mayer. Jeffrey Mayer was reaching for a ball that was a home run. He didn't interfere with a player. He didn't touch a player. And it's a normal reaction to reach for a ball that's coming towards you. The difference is when you grab the guy's glove, when you grab the guy's arm, that's uncalled for. You are not part of the game. You don't belong at any sporting event. Now, it was said that the Yankees were going to allow these two, I don't even know what to call them, because I don't want to say certain things on the air because we're professionals, unlike people that write about these two idiots. Yeah. That the Yankees were going to allow them in the game, and MLB made the call to the Yankees and said, please, let's ban these guys. So, thank God MLB at least had a brain. I actually wish that this would have happened to a guy like Bonds, because Bonds would have lit them up, and it would have been great. But I understand Betts, and I appreciate who he is, and the fact that he handled himself with such class. I have nothing but respect for him and the Dodgers organization. If the Dodgers win, the Dodgers win. They have the better series. The Yankees can find a way to come back. This play had nothing to do with it. They called, I think it was Volpe that was up. I forget because I was so heated about it.
Yeah.
They called the guy out anyway, so it said nothing to do with helping the Yankees. These two guys are garbage. They don't belong at a Yankee game, any sporting event. Anybody that buys them a beer is a piece of trash. Don't associate yourself with lowlifes because that's what you become when you do that.
Yeah.
This is utterly despicable. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, absolutely, and I'll make it short because I got to run to picked off. But absolutely no room in the game for this at all. And Mookie Betts still was trying to spare these guys because he was like, I didn't even know he grabbed my hand. Clearly in the video, his hand's being yanked out of his shoulder damn near. So he knew. That's just the type of dude that now they're lucky that this isn't some other baseball player that will not hesitate to flame them live on the air. He's like, you know what? My mind is on the series. My mind is on. You heard him say it. Hey, we gotta get ready for tomorrow and everything. He's not gonna let it distract him or anything like that. I mean, shout out to Mookie Betts on that one. But absolutely glad that the MLB stepped in and told the Yankees organization, hey man, no, they cannot come back because I get it. They're your fans. It's your organization, but it's our sports organization, and we're making the call to say no, they can't come back.
Exactly. Well, Denzel, I appreciate you stepping in tonight. This was Cubfidential World Series Edition, Game 5 going on now. We'll see you guys. Be good. I'm going to say let's go Yankees, but keep those two idiots. Get them out of New York. Send them. You know what? Let's deport them. All right. We're out of here.
We're out.